Hey everybody, this is the Wargaming Guy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my second video here. Late to be sure, War in the East 2. Now what we're going to do today, something a little unusual. What I'm going to do is actually play through the tutorial, but I'm going to play through it from the rule book. I'm going to be reading what it says, everything. Now this game, I think the only really word for this game is massive. Everything about this game is massive. It's a 500-page rule book. The setting up and starting of the introductory scenario, 4.19, by the way, starts on page 74 and it ends on page 99, and that does not even complete the scenario. It just takes you through the first part of it, and then you're kind of left on your own for the rest. So that might give you a little bit of an idea. Just when I say massive, I mean massive. I printed this out. So I've got all these papers here. I've got my laptop here. I've got this little tiny table I game on. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But it should be interesting. And of course, this takes place, the opening scenario here, the introductory scenario, is part of Operation Mars that took place in the summer of 1941. So they say here, this is interesting just to note, the order of battle is as historical as possible and includes the various specialist combat and command formations the Germans created to defend this sector. The map layout is slightly ahistoric in that the Soviets start controlling Rzhev, simply as this made designing the scenario and issues such as connecting to the off-map logistics center much easier. So, there you go. That's what war games are. Every war game, you know, that you have to make some concessions to reality, shall we say. All right. So, we are going to configure this with the Axis as the computer and the Soviet as the human. And the difficulty, they say to go on easy, so I'm going to do what they say. They actually, say to do some things here that I actually don't even like, but that's the way it goes. So now we're going to go to game options, and they want you, there's one page down, lots of charts and pictures and graphs and all that kind of stuff here. What they want us to do is they want us to click the Fog of War box on the Soviet column off. So we're going to see the Soviet column. Here's the Fog of... Oh, it's over here. Fog of War. Is that right? No. I don't think so. Hold on. So I'm already in trouble. That's why I'm doing this, just to give you a feel for what it says. Click the Fog of War box on the Soviet column and the screen will change to... Then it shows you a picture, which you can't see, of course. This change means you'll be able to see all the AI's formations as it moves around. Okay, so we do not want the Fog of War, so I'm leaving it unchecked. Even though... Okay, I guess that's what they want. Leave all the other boxes as they are. In this game, we're going to use automated air assistance for the air war, and there are no off-map theater boxes apart from the National Reserve. You can alter the difficulty level variables to produce what is called a custom setup. In general, the single most important variable is the morale level. We're not going to mess with any of that. Once you've made changes to this, all the changes you want, close this screen, clicking the X. And it's okay. Before... all right. I'm just trying to get through. Don't want to read the whole thing here. Just talking about all the variables you can change and the things that you can do. So here we go. Now return to the main menu and select Pick Scenario. And of course, we are going to pick the introductory one scenario, which is Velikie Luki, I believe is how you pronounce that. And I'm sorry my mouse is worse than usual because things are crowded here, people. And let's see. This is blah, blah, blah. Okay. So enter a folder name if we want it. Yes, we want to load this. So it's going to load it on up. and take a minute to do that. Take more than a minute to do that, apparently. Here we go. And there's the introductory name, which is fine. So we're just going to say, yeah, that's cool. And boom, here we are at the map. So we are on the map. Okay. During the game, you can save at any time. You do this by shifting to the Administration tab by clicking on the save icon as. So, the Administration tab and the save icon, which is right there. So that's how you save. Okay. Using the AI assistance for the air war. When you open the game, you will see something like this on the right. Never mind that since you can't see it. Let's go to the air planning thing here. Well, I thought we'd go to the air planning thing here. I'm actually not seeing... This, by the way, is the turn summary, but let's just turn that off. There we go. You can see the different air groups are mentioned because you start with the air phase. So, boy, between all these pictures I can't show you. Maybe I should have videoed this differently. War in the East 2 is divided into distinct phases. We'll focus on setting up the air war. Remember, this is the no logistics phase of the first turn of any scenario. As a brief review of the concepts of the air game, remember that your air force consists of individual planes, and in this scenario, you will have 251 ready planes. You can see this on the Third Army label. Third Air Army label. Here we go. So there you go. Boom, boom, boom. You can see all the planes we got. We've got different... What's that? That's air groups. Yeah. So you can see all that stuff. These planes are divided into 5 operational groups. There's a lot of functionality available, even by just viewing and manipulating the labels. If you simply hover a mouse over one SHAK, S-H-A-K, it will show you which operational air groups report to that command, like this. So there you go. Okay. The other element of the air war management is the actual HQ that controls the planes. The label Third Air Army is located as centrally as possible to the actual deployment of your planes. It plays 2 important roles in the game, but for this scenario, we can completely ignore it. It allows you to change the leader of the air army and blah, blah. Okay, if we're going to ignore it, I'm just going to ignore it. Click on the Third Army Air Army label, and the screen will change to the image overleaf. The Third Army Air label. There you go. And that's the overleaf. That's the picture. All we are interested in is the information box for the Third Air Army at the top of the screen, he said. Moving on to another page. Now we are on page 80. And as you can see there's the box. We can make all the changes we need in this box. We'll change 2 variables. We will tell it to only fly during the day. So change the top filter to show day only. Okay, let's see. Is that right? Day only. It's right. Very good. See how simple that was? Let's see. We will change 2 variables. Yeah. Okay. We will alter the stance from flexible to advance. There it is. There's flexible. We're going to put on advance. All right. As we hope to be moving forward, and we need the short-range Soviet air assets to stay in range. We only have 1 valid Soviet front command HQ, the Kalinin front, so there's no need to or scope for this to amend this. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. The AI will now generate a set of air directives using its available assets and the information you have provided. In some scenarios, you will find that on turn 1, there's a set of scripted missions. If these exist, then the AI will default to those and make its own changes for a later term. So now, either press the F12 key or the arrow at the top right of the screen. Press the F12 key. Boom! It is pressed. Okay. Page 81. At this stage, you might want to save the game so that you can return to this point and review your choices. Yeah, I don't think so. Sure, we're going to... I'm not saving the game. I don't care about that. Okay. So here goes the air guys. You can hear them taking the pictures. Little recon action going on. And, okay. War in the East 2 rewards planning your operations. Even in a simple scenario like this, it's worthwhile to review your forces, the terrain, what you know of the enemy, and your objectives. In effect, creating a rough plan will mean you don't move units or make attacks that you later realize reduce your options to secure your main goal. Some of this becomes second nature. In the main, it is less about a detailed understanding of the exact game rules and more about understanding how all these factors, what Clausewitz called the terrain, combine to create opportunities and limit your options. As a simple test, in a later playthrough of this scenario, ignore Velikie Luki and commit the Soviet forces to an offensive at the top of the map. It's likely to fail badly due to poor terrain and lack of decent supply lines. Okay, so now here is the total and complete thing that happened during the air phase. You could see what we did here. So there you go. We didn't lose anybody, looks like. I don't think the enemy lost. Oh, no, we lost 7. What? Okay. Before moving to any formations, it's useful to review the situation and carry out some general, we'll just get rid of this, some administrative tasks. Generally, it's a good idea to generate a save once the air phase is completed. So again, set up a save as before, and you'll find that you will find the air phase save. Generate a new name for this point. Are you kidding? There is no way I'm doing all this. I said I'd read it. I didn't say I'd exactly do it. Okay. Before considering any actual move, it's useful to review the overall situation and adjust the map to fit your immediate interests. If you're reloading a save game or have just run a turn, you will see the turn summary. You can dismiss this by clicking the X at the top. One, and it is not very informative on turn 1. However, it gives you access to 2 screens that are useful, the victory point table, and the other is the reinforcement screen. Yeah, if I had access to that, that'd be great, but unfortunately, I do not. I'm sure there's another way to get there, but let me just do a quick look here. Info screens, right? You would think that would be a logical place for that. Yeah, that's what I would think. But apparently, oh no. Reinforcements and transfers. That's not what I was thinking of. Okay. Well, never mind. There are 4 key parts to the victory screen. So great. So I need to find the victory screen, which I can't find. By the way, they're not mentioning this yet, but I'm just going to throw it in now. You get a little situation report, and when things happen, like a little newspaper pops up over there, and you get to look at it. So you would think that... All right. Let me see if... I printed out a whole page, appendix. This is Appendix J, the hotkey list. Unfortunately, it's so... it is so small print that it really takes some doing here. Show the victory screen is V. Boom! There we go. Thank goodness for hotkeys. All right. Symbol at the top will allow you to access a graph that will show you the victory score by turn, so you can track how it's changed as you play the scenario. On the next 2 and 3 indicate how the victory points are scored. So as you can see here, nothing's happened yet, but as you can see, it lists points, it lists aircraft, AFVs, guns, blah, blah, blah. So there you go. And that is the chart, which we don't have. And look at all that. Enemy men lost, total men. This game has an endless array of charts and graphs and information. It's just like insane. Okay. In addition to each side gains, victory points are recorded for the loss of the other side. So the Axis will gain 1 victory point for every 1,000 Soviet losses, and the Soviets will gain a VP for every 666 Axis losses. The number of the beast. Oh no. Okay. Since the Soviets lost some planes during the recently conducted air phase, the exact number will be different. In your game, the Axis side already has 1 VP. Broadly, this means that both sides will have an incentive to inflict losses and a reason to try and minimize their own. So, okay, so there's all that. So I would like to get to the point where I could actually move somebody, if this is even possible. You see, oh my gosh, I've got more pages to go. You don't start moving people. Well, actually, you prepare your first moves on page 85, and I'm on page 84 right now. Okay, I'm just kind of skimming over this. I don't really think we need to mess with that. So, okay, let's just prepare to move. Before we do anything else about the ground units, now is a good time to review the one-page guide, number 6, on the ground war. Some of this pre-move interaction will become second nature. Yes, they keep talking about my second nature. Do they know how old I am? I don't think so. 1 steps to review your chain of command. Each type of HQ has a range beyond which they will not offer any useful support. In this scenario, the Soviet player has 3 HQs. Okay, let's say there's one. Let's click it. And you can sort of see who answers to it. Very nice. You have the Stavka counter that represents your senior command. Of more importance is the Kalinian Front HQ, which can be found at Poldova. Was that what this is? No, this is the 3rd Shock Army. That's got to be Stavka, right? No, that's the Kalinian Front. Okay. Some hexes have been shaded gray. In addition to those out of the scenario area, they are too far in movement points for this HQ to move this turn, or there's some reason that it doesn't want to move there. Okay. So, if it's out of range, you lose the value of your HQ, so you want to make sure that your HQs stay within range. Looking at the Kalinian Front counter, you can see it is set as an assault HQ. This matters as it increases the command capacity and speed at which units regain lost combat preparation points. For the moment, leave the front HQ and move on to the 3rd Shock Army HQ. Again, left-click on this, and the map display will again change. And of course, that's this guy. Here, the link to the front HQ is in orange. It commands the Shock Army. The links to the combat units are in blue. All are within command range. Note the 3 units that report directly to the front are outlined in yellow. This is because they share a controlling HQ with the chosen unit in that they are to report to the front. So as you can see there, all these different colors. Rainbow stuff going on here in War in the East 2. All right, page 87. For a Soviet HQ or an Axis core, perhaps the most important test is whether the combat units it controls are outlined in blue. If you right-click on the unit display, right hand of the screen, you will see that all the units that report to it. Bam! There we go. We do. Oh, there we go. There, look at all this. Mechanized, infantry, artillery, anti-tank construction, mortar, rockets. Wow. That's a lot. We can ignore most of the information on this counter for the moment, but note there are 2 types of units under its command. Off-map support units are marked with quotation marks before their name. Some of these could be attached directly to combat units, but left in the HQ, they will be allocated into combat by the computer routines. The important part is they will only be committed if the combat occurs within the command range of the HQ. So the most important aspect of your HQ counters is to keep them in range. However, before moving on to planning the attack, there is one more aspect worth noting. Man, this game, it's just amazing. If the HQ is on a depot, it increases the capacity of that depot. This is really important as it improves the ability of that depot to receive, store, and distribute supplies to the combat units. combat is capacity is shown by a black bar on the depot symbol. Move the Kalinin front 1 hex to the southwest. That would be that way, wouldn't it? No, southwest is that way, because this is east. You sure you want me to do that? All right. Oh, that was the shock army. I can't undo it. Crap. Already blew it. And I blew it again. It's the Kalinin front they want me to move. Well, I'm screwing this up totally. Okay, southwest would be that way. Sheesh. As you can see, the capacity has dropped. Can't really. I don't actually see that, but okay. I'll take your word for it. Now click on the 257th Rifle Division in the hex due east of Velikie. I probably ruined that by what I just did. Where's Velikie Luki? Is it right? Yes, right there. I did. We're not moving him anymore. I'm sorry. Just to show what's going on. So we're just going to skip that because I messed it up. This is doing a tutorial for real, okay? Okay, so as an experiment, now select the 1-2 motorized core counter located in hex 203-131. Would that be this? Yeah. I want this one. Not you. Right? Right. Okay. You may need to left-click the stack. Blah, 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 blah. First, note the brigades. The other brigades in the core are in blue, thus telling you they are part of the same unit. But now note that the hex to the west of Velikie Luki is also shaded in light brown. Okay. I don't actually see that. West of Velikie Luki is shaded in light brown. Do you see that? Because I do not. That should be this hex. Unless we're sitting at an angle. I don't see... Well, they're all brown, so what's the... I don't get it. Okay. So we're going to start planning the offensive. It's useful to alter the map display to remove both the depots and the victory point locations. Really? You sure about that? What is now clear is relatively how strong the defenders are. The combat engine in War in these two is complex, but essentially, to push the defender back, you need to have double their combat value at the end of the battle. Given you will struggle to match the defenders at the start value, it is unlikely you will achieve this with the direct assault. Equally, if you fail, your units will be weaker, as they lose half their CPP, making a subsequent attack much harder. On the other hand, the defender will be weakened during such an attack, so perhaps a second attack might succeed where the first has failed. It's like listening to an economist on the one hand, but yet on the other. This sort of decision-making is the key to good gameplay, clearly. One way to take a strongly held hex is to attack many times, but to rotate the attacking units. You can often avoid a direct attack and rely on movement to force the enemy to fall back. Okay. So they're going to try to encircle the city first. You actually have a number of choices for how to manage this turn, but the key goal, is to encircle Velikie Luki. Start by left-clicking on the stack in hex 201-107. So I'm going to assume that's you. 202. 201. There we go. Is that right? Yeah, no. Next 201-107. I don't. So what do I got to do? Go through all of these to find out which stupid unit we're talking about here? Is it you? How about you? No. Well, Is this a typo? Because I don't see it. And looking at this doesn't help me either. 201. There's no. So just 201 like a column here. That's 201. That's 129. 201, 130. You know, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but there is no unit in 201, 107. By default, this will select the rifle brigade and note that it can move into the target hex. Yeah, that'd be great if I knew what you were talking about. You know, I'm not so sure this was written very well, but I'm saving you the money here. For the moment, leave the brigade and move the rifle division 381. Make the change by left-clicking on the hex and the display will change. Okay, so it's got to be. I mean, jeez, this is driving me nuts. This has got to be a terrible thing to watch. Sorry. You know what? We're just gonna. I think I'm gonna leave that there. And you know what? This is taking way too long for me. So why don't we just do it? Boom! Alright. So if we're going to surround Velikie Luki, then I'm thinking we're just going to come through here and pinch it off, right? That makes perfect sense to me, at least. Nobody can move here? Oh, that's not really what I wanted to see. What about you guys? You can get there. You can't. You can't. What is going on? I don't understand. They can move that way, but they can't there. No? They cannot move into that hex. All right. Then let's try. No, that's Velikie Luki. We don't want to attack that because it's like very strong. That doesn't move. These guys aren't moving. So we've got some units that are frozen in place apparently. And these guys are all part of that. All right. Let's just see what happens. I think... no. How do I depot? Where's my depot manage thing? Yes. Yes, that's what we want. Okay. Now go. Okay, so I'm you know, I shouldn't have printed all this out, but this is just it ain't working for me, people. It ain't working. Probably because I'm, you know, mentally deranged or something, but we're just going to push ahead here and see what we can do. And as you can see, there's a whole lot going on. Now, just imagine what this is like when you're playing the entire front. It boggles the mind. Okay, so here's the German air. Doing their thing. Taking their sweet time. I don't have to, no, I don't have to do anything. All right. Here we go. Come on. Maybe I should have a book here to read to you during the movement. I have heard that the AI is slow in this. It's much quicker in the actual real game. I don't know if that's true or not, since I have not played the actual real game. That's what I've heard. Oh, okay, so they jumped up into that hex. They do not want to lose it. Moving around their HQs a bit. Okay, logistics. Getting me all supplied. Saving. And here we go. So these are the turn summary. Friendly losses. We lost 2009 men. Whoa! 28 guns, 1 tank, and 15 planes. Good lord. Yeah. All right. That's pretty steep. I mean, I know this is the Russian front and all that, but wow. Now, can you move now? No. Can you move? No. Can you move? No. Nobody can move. This is stupid. Why? Can you move? Why won't they move? They're ready. It says they're ready. Oh, it's air phase, Dumbo. See? I forget. It's so weird to me to have these, this and War in the West are the only games I've ever played that are just so rigid about having to do the air first. I mean, it makes sense in a way, but it's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain. Okay. Let's shoot some of those planes down, boys. Shoot them down. And I believe at the end of the game, if I surround something, then it's the victory hex, and I count. It counts as me holding the hex. Okay. Now, hey, somebody can move. Hey, look at that. All right. What do we got here? Fort. Jeez. Security Brigade and a Mountain Division. And this is Replacement Infantry Battalion. I bet they're not too happy being there. And this is the, okay, Infantry Division. All right. So they're not ready to move yet, apparently. That's bad. Okay. Let's take you, hold down the shift key, and see what we can do here. Might, but we did. Retreated, that's beautiful. Now, do I really want to put somebody there, or by putting somebody there, am I like opening myself up to death and destruction? See if we can take this. Can we take it? Darn. He can take it. Good. So what happens here if I grab all these guys? This guy. Ooh, I routed him. Now we're talking. All right, that's pretty good. Do these guys have anything left to hit this guy with? It's a hasty attack. It's 2, no. Well, I should probably not do it because I don't want to overextend my guys. Hey, get up here. Okay, is that it? Yeah, we're going to let you stay where you are for now. Again, we're going to check just because I want to. We are going to have the depot manage. And we're going to move to the next turn. Not a lot of maneuver here, at least not yet. You know, I thought reading the manual would go smoother, but clearly I was wrong. So, I mean, it's great. It's got a lot of stuff there, but to do it while you're trying to record and not stop and spend 5 minutes. I mean, you're not going to speed read this manual. I don't care if you can speed read or not. This is something you've got to stop and think and look and compare and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. It was a nice idea. Maybe I'll do it some other time with another game that isn't so amazingly complex as War in the East is. "42% of the air execution phase is done." That's nice that they have this right up here. You can see it. Now it's 54. I'll tell you one thing. Besides the size, the other size of the game is the depth of the information that you get is just. I mean, if you're a detail freak kind of person, this is your game. It's just, I am not, as most of you noticed, but I'm sure if you noticed that if you've watched me play. But, Panzers. I hear Panzers. Give me, oh boy, it looks like they didn't. For a second there, it looked like they were really beefed up behind Velikie Luki, but or however you say it. That's how I'm saying it. If I'm wrong, mention it in the comments, people. It would not come as a surprise. It is weird, too, because when you watch things on TV, like histories of the war in Russia, I've heard 2, 3, 4 different ways to pronounce all kinds of different things. So I'm not so sure who's really there and who's really not. Okay, hey, look at this. Soviet partisans become active throughout much of the Axis-occupied territory of the Soviet Union. Partisans attacked in intensity 1 or 2 in many USSR regions. All right, way to go, partisans. Now, I don't know if this is a partisan hex. It's neutral, so maybe that means it's partisan hex. I don't know. Execute air directive. Yes. When it comes down to actually... Hey, wait a minute. Why is that marked for the Germans? Did they advance somebody there? They did. That's probably not a real good thing. Hopefully we can get those guys up top that are up north that are sitting on their behinds doing nothing to move. Because if we got somebody coming through there, we're going to need some help. Like, now. Come on. Here we go. So that's all that. Just giving you a minute to look at it there. You can pause the video and look more deeply if you know. Maybe somebody moved there and jumped back. I don't know. Who's here? Oh, okay. They got part of a motorized division, security regiment, security infantry battalion. What is this? This is the SS Motorized Brigade. Can you move now? Yes, thank you. We're going to need to send, for sure, you here. I think I'm going to send you down here, actually, just to plug whatever's going on there. I might move you back up north in a minute. And now... Oh, Panzers. Hold on, what is that? 8th Panzer Division. Oh, shoot. Denmark, SS Motorized Infantry Battalion and Security Infantry Battalion. Yee, that's going to be rough. Okay, so we're definitely going to want to put you up here. And you down here. And should we attack? What would happen? Yeah, that's not enough. How about if we do this? Shoot, that's not enough either. 26 to 8. Yeah, that'll do it. But oh yeah, wipe it out. Now the question is, who is in this hex? 3rd Panzer Army. That must be an HQ. Yeah, look at this. This guy's like dug in. He's a 3 fort, so that's probably pretty rough. Actually, hold on. I can't. I can get you here, though. Yeah, that'll do. Didn't kill him. He retreated, though. I was hoping we could rout him. That's it. Alright, so we should have some halfway decent defense here. Up here, I don't really know what the heck is going to happen here. Let's get everybody we can involved. Whoa, the defender is 20? And our attacker at 5? What? No. That's like, are you kidding me? Holy cow. This guy's a lot stronger than he looks. Yeah, we'll wait, I guess, maybe till next turn. We'll get some deliberate attack points built up. Yes. Whoa. So we've got one flag, surrounded another one, so we've got 2 more we need to grab. Hopefully both of them. I don't know that we're ever going to get into Velikie Luki with that fort the way it is, but I'm really not worried about that right now. I want to get those other hexes and just beat up his forces a lot. So that's why we're going way longer than usual deliberately, because I want to get through a lot of this if I can. I don't think I'm going to get through the whole thing, but I'll go up to an hour if I need to, just because that's this game, you know, and you just kind of have to get used to it if you're going to play it. By the way, speaking of the rule book, I should mention there is a version of the rule book that is printer friendly, which I didn't know when I printed all this out. And there's another version of the rule book that is an EPUB, so it'll go into your Kindle or your Nook or whatever. And yes, I stuck one in my Kindle. Haven't read anything in it yet. Kind of busy this week because I'm going to be gone next week, so I'm also trying to work ahead to get you guys videos for next time. Notice how they actually put that Panzer unit. Oh, they're attacking. Yes, come on. Knock down that freight. We don't want them getting any freight. No, we don't want freight. That's no. Come on. Come on, Red Air Force. Do your job. Little weenies. Doing the logistics, and then I would like to see partisans attack. I don't know if they just have like, boom, boom, boom kind of things, or if they actually have units that pop up. I don't know. Man, we're losing people. Ooh, look at all that. Wow. So, Axis major victory so far. Well, that stinks. So that's not good. So look at that. They put the Panzer Division right there. 8th Panzers. And look, by the way, down here, you'll notice at the bottom, they've got 13 Panzer IIIs, 21 Panzer IIIs, 3Ls, 24 Panzer IV-Gs, etc., etc., etc. Oh, yeah. Wow. So the question is, should I try to go head up with their strength, or should I try to pick their weak points, punch through there, ruin those units, and make them spread out? That seems to me to be the best way to do it. But I could be wrong on that. So we will have to see. All right. So what do we got here? Yep. All right. So here we go. Are you reinforcements? I guess you are. Actually, let's just wait a minute. What's here now? Okay, so I got part of a motorized division there. We don't really need to go anywhere here. Pushing this guy out, though, would be nice. If we should be able to do it, I would think. 22 to... Ooh, it's close. Oh, we pushed one of them back. Both of them back. Awesome. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, so... It's 10 to 5. Should be able to do it. We did! We made the 8th Panzers retreat. That's awesome. This is going to be a bear, though. See, that's a Fort 3, too. Dang it. Well, we'll just have to take it as it comes, I guess. What would that look like? Oh! 31.8 is his defensive power. Holy moly. So this guy moved up here. So that might open up. No. Dang it. Are you kidding? Shoot. We're going to have to move him up here. Which means you're going to come over here. Just make sure there's not too much funny stuff going on. That actually should work. It did. Routed him. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. Man, some of these... I don't know how we're going to grind these guys down, but we're going to have to do something. I can't get over that. The defensive values are just brutal. There's nobody else back here, is there? No. Just wanted to check, see if we got any reinforcements. Because I did not check before this started to see that if we had any. Yeah, manage my depots. Let's go. You'll notice my turns are really fast because all I'm basically doing is the ground game. And, you know, like I said, in this scenario, not a lot of choice. And supply's not like something that I'm really having to worry too much about either. So I think in this game, I know the supply rules are more involved than they were in War in the East 1. So that's something to think about, is in terms of time. You're not going to certainly play one of the bigger scenarios or the campaign the way I'm doing this. It's going to be a lot more complicated, I'm sure. But I know for some of you, for many of you, that's part of the fun. And I would love to be able to figure out a way to find a happy medium so I could actually play halfway decently, at least the East Front on this scale, because I like the scale. You know, I mean, it's huge, but, you know, it's okay. But the complexity is just what it just kills me, man. It just kills me. So they keep moving people up into that hex behind Velikie Luki, and then they pull back so they own the hex, which means I don't own it. I guess that's the whole point. If I could get some people in there, maybe that would make them attack me, which at least it would bleed them. I'm assuming I have more people than they do. I mean, that's usually a safe assumption when you're the Russian. Not always, but usually. And my boys should be able to handle the winter better than theirs. Boom. Okay. Still an Axis major victory. That just sucks, dude. Yeah. Yes. Let's just get her done. Get her done. Because we have miles to go before we sleep here. Okay, come on, let's go. We're almost done. One good thing about this, if you're just playing, you know, at your home, all by yourself with the computer, plenty of bathroom breaks. So, you know, there's that. Alrighty then. Okay. What can we do here? It's still not double it. Alright, move up. Nowhere near double it. No, it's not even 1-to-1. God. Who's in here? Alright, what happens if we just, you know, lose our minds and try this? Oh! Yeah, that happens, and that's not good. Alright. That's not double either. Let's try it. Okay, we kicked him back. That's good. Ooh, who's that? Is that the 8th? Yeah, that's the 8th Panzers. Oh, man. Well, we've got to do something here. Jeez. Do it. We pushed him back. I wonder if there's fog of war in those numbers, so that you can't fully trust them. Hey, look. Woohoo, we got new units. Yay. Yeah, baby. Come on up. There you go. Alright, well, should we try something like this? Why not? Okay, we pushed him back again. I don't think I want to pull him up there. That seems a little much. I could move him up, but yeah, the Panzer Division's going to just eat him for lunch. So we don't want that. All right. There's no possible way that could... I mean, unless these numbers are insanely off, that's not going to happen. So let's do one more turn maybe, or at least let the AI run its turn before I call it quits on this baby. We'll just come back to it again as we seek to understand a little bit more about how to play this game. So we got a ways to go to get to that top flag, so we got to get there. I don't know how many turns there are in this game either, this scenario. So, yeah, this may turn out to be a colossal defeat. That's fine. Just trying to figure out how to play it. The mechanics of ground combat seem to be almost exactly the same as War in the East 1, but I know there's more that goes into it with, if your unit rests the turn or two, it builds up more preparation points or whatever they're called and blah, blah, blah. I don't exactly know how any of that works, but I know it's there, so, that's something to think about. But in terms of if you played War in the East 1, then you can certainly move units around and attack and all that in this one. Oh, look at that Panzer Division. Oh, moving down. Now, Velikie Luki looks weak, but they're dropping supplies to it. And looks, of course, are deceiving. So I suppose I could try to go around I have no idea how to pronounce that. Vashoko Kolonnicht or something. But so maybe that's what I should try and do. Because I don't know that we're going to be able to take anything head on here. All right, air turn, we'll just let that go. Execute. Tell you what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to stop right after the air turn here, and then we'll come back next time with the ground phase, because I don't want to start the next video with the AI. That's not a good way to start, right? So we'll just knock it off here. I mean, good grief, it'll probably be an hour by the time this is done. So that's plenty of time. For the few of you, hardy souls that you are, I salute you, who are still out there watching this. Yes, indeed, because this I don't think this was a very good video in terms of just watchability. Just to tell you the truth. So there you go. So that is going to wrap it up for this time. So come back next time, guys, for more. Let's look at the events first of all. Partisans. Okay. So till next time, this is the Wargaming guy saying thanks for watching. Take care out there, everybody. And I will see you later.